The first thing I see in this photograph is something called a vignette. So Control minus, I'm going to make this a bit smaller. Press C for the crop tool, and I'm going to select the entire photograph. Now, holding down the Shift key, I'm going to bring this in. By repositioning that, I no longer have these dark corners in the image. Those dark corners are most likely due to the fact that I was using a full frame camera with a lens that wasn't designed for it. So you end up with vignetting. Press enter, and now we just have the portraits. So the first thing that we're going to do, of course, is to high pass soft light sharpen. So double click on there, duplicate the layer, change that to soft light, duplicate that again, go to filter, other, high pass, set the radius to 1, Control Shift L, reduce that, and we'll scale that back a little bit too. Here we have before and after. That's good. Control E to collapse those. Now what I'm going to do is to reduce the appearance of this. So what to do? Press L, select this tool. Now I'm going to zoom in on that eye and just select around it, around this area that I want to change. And clicking in there, and bring that down to here. Now press Control J and then V. You can move that up. I'm now going to go over to opacity and reduce the opacity. That's before and after. The other thing we can do in here is just set that to light and maybe reduce that even further. So that's before, after. We'll do that to the other eye. So go back to this layer. Control J. Now this image is quite grainy because I used a very high ISO in the camera. The room was actually quite dark. So if you're wondering why it's so mottled, that's why we have that problem. Okay, so that's before and after. Let's go over to this gentleman here. Now, we'll do the same thing. Lighten mode, and then just move that up to there and dial it back. Over here, I held down the space bar to move that image, and Control J to copy the selection, V, push that up, change the mode to lighten, yeah, that's good, and we'll just dial that back a little. Before, after, before, after. Now the change should be subtle enough that the people in the photograph don't actually know you've done it. While we're here, there is one other thing we can do to make this look nicer. I'm just going to select these teeth. Doesn't have to be particularly exact selection. Control J, go to Layers, choose Blue, and just bump that a little bit. Go back to RGB and boost that. Before, after. But it's important to take a look at the image as a whole. That's a bit better. Fewer coffee stains. I'll just dial the opacity back a little. And we can do the same over here. The reason why I boosted the blue is because the opposite to blue is yellow. And those teeth were suffering from a little bit of coffee staining or a little bit of yellowing. These teeth are a little bit on the grey side, so we'll have to make a slightly different kind of adjustment here. So the first one will be a blue adjustment. The second one will be the lightness adjustment. Now the lightness adjustment is probably more important here. So that's before, after. Just bring that back a little. If you overdo it on the conjunctiva or the teeth, the people in your photograph will start to look really ghoulish. So restraint is the key.